I've already talked about Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal quite extensively in my recent video review, and it's certainly not a standout title for the Sonic franchise. There are some redeemable qualities to it that doesn't make it totally dismissible, but it's by no means a great game. But that all has to do with the 3DS version, so how does its big brother, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, fare on the Wii U? You would think that the Wii U version would be the superior title, just because the system is capable of doing bigger and better things, but lo and behold, Big Red Button created a piece of doo-doo for Sonic fans and Nintendo owners alike. The blue blur is certainly having a hard time getting his footing, and Rise of Lyric doesn't help one bit. Believe it or not, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric is actually the first Sonic console title to have development led by the West, with Big Red Button taking the lead. Considering the studio's comprised of industry veterans from Naughty Dog and other studios, you would think they would cook up at least a half-decent title. The goal was to evolve the Sonic franchise into new directions by offering fans a different spin on the classic Sonic experience, and boy did they do that. Unlike Shattered Crystal, which falls more closely to classic 2D Sonic titles, Rise of Lyric is all about 3D platforming, mindless puzzle solving, tedious combat, and running segments that are so choppy you'd wonder how the game got the all clear from Sega. I mentioned this in my Shattered Crystal review, but the stories in Sonic Boom don't seem to coincide with one another. Both titles feature the cast of well-known Sonic team members meeting the brand new ancient villain known as Lyric for what seems to be the first time, as Sonic has no clue who he is in each title. Anyways, in Rise of Lyric, Sonic, Tails, the Hulk, and Amy stumble upon an ancient ruin sealed deep within an island, where they come across Lyric, who's been locked up for 1,000 years. They accidentally release him from his rocky slumber, so Team Sonic must work together and save the world from Lyric's evil plan to annihilate all living creatures on Earth. With Lyric putting his plans into motion by collecting all the crystal shards, Sonic must race across ancient ruins, the depths of the ocean, barren hub worlds, and even back in time to stop the diabolical serpent of evilness. In a similar vein to Shattered Crystal, Rise of Lyric allows you to instantaneously switch between all four characters at will, which is something you'll be doing plenty of since certain environments are designed for certain characters. Tails can glide and ride the updraft from large yellow fans, Sonic can spin dash up ramps or use his homing attack to get across open areas, Amy can triple jump and balance on narrow pink beams, and finally, Knuckles can climb along red walls. This exploration style element of Rise of Lyric results in a slower paced title with puzzle-like elements that are insanely simple. Most of the time you need to hit a series of green buttons, and a chunk of the puzzles are rehashed throughout the game. Now, Sonic is known for going fast, because that's what makes Sonic, Sonic. But Rise of Lyric takes that aspect of the blue hedgehog and makes it sit more on the back burner. Don't get me wrong, there are definitely some fast-paced segments, especially during the on-rails running parts where you try to dodge incoming projectiles and watch Sonic bounce around like a pinball and do his famous loop-de-loops. There's nothing really redeemable about these running segments though. The game even begins with one of them, and at these points, Sonic moves so fast that he turns the frame rate into chop suey. Plus, sometimes obstacles just pop into existence, and it might even be so chaotic you have no time to swerve around hazards. Okay, so the on-rails segments might not be all that great, but how about the melee combat, considering Rise of Lyric puts a pretty hefty focus on it? I mean, sometimes smashing robots into metallic bits is the key to get through specific areas, so you'll be encountering plenty of fighting. Well, it can be slightly enjoyable at times, but for the most part, it's fairly mindless as you'll ultimately spam one attack button most of the time. It is kind of fun to grab the enemies with your ender beam thingy and chuck them off a platform, since it just kills them quicker. But to help mix up the combat, Sonic, Tails, Amy, and Knuckles all have unique melee attacks with different speeds and strengths, but that novelty eventually wears off because you don't really need a specific character to take down a certain enemy. The diversity of enemies is also pretty scarce, and when a new robot is introduced, it's usually just a reskin of one you've already fought. And since these robots are damaged sponges, it takes some time to clobber your way through them, so it's more worthwhile to run past the mobs that aren't necessary to progress through any given area. Plus, it helps to get through the game faster, and I like that. Also, the game doesn't have any run button, so everywhere you go, you move at a leisurely pace, unless you hit a boost pad. This makes moving around the large hub worlds feel like a chore. I mean, he's Sonic, he should be able to sprint. You can go Ocarina of Time and mash the Y button while controlling Sonic to constantly spin dash, which makes you move a little bit faster. But come on, he's a stinking snail. And finally, there's a couple of segments where you get to cruise around in an awkwardly shaped boat and go all twin-stick shooter. They are nowhere near being enjoyable, and controlling the aim of the gun on the boat thingy is like controlling a potato. It's dumb. So, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric's variety of gameplay might not be up to snuff, so surely Big Red Button put all their time and effort into crafting amazing graphics and an elegant soundtrack. Yeah, no. With the game running on a system capable of creating some top-notch visuals like in Mario Kart 8, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric looks like it would fit on a PlayStation 2. Just bask in its glory, baby. Bask. dusk. The textures are bad, objects in the environment have a tendency to appear and disappear depending on your distance from them, and there's also glitches. One time, Sonic just fell through the floor into a beige abyss, and another time, the game wouldn't let me move left or right, only forwards and backwards. I guess the game still thought I was on an on-rail segment or something. Quality assurance, baby. In terms of the game's soundtrack, well, it's just flat out generic. The only tune that is kind of memorable is the Sonic Boom theme that plays in both Shattered Crystal and Rise of Lyric, but other than that, it's all rather forgettable. It's not even like there's room to even listen to the music, because Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy just never, ever shut up.
Accelerator! Speed time!
Every time they encounter an object, such as a bounce pad, and even such a simple thing as rings, they have to speak their minds or just state the obvious. And you know how Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal and Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric are able to connect with one another to unlock content? Well, get this, all you get is an upgrade for your characters in Rise of Lyric so you can hold more rings. In essence, this is a $40 paywall just so you can hold more than 100 rings at a time. It is certainly a useful upgrade so you can take more damage, but for $40, no. Just no. And that's really all you get. Shattered Crystal gets absolutely nothing in return. So overall, Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric fails to make itself a standout game, with its slow-paced exploration, simple puzzle solving, rather boring combat, a poor presentation, and a forgettable soundtrack. Hopefully, whatever Sonic game the Sonic team is working on next will respark the Blue Hedgehog's rather elusive flame. So thegamingpixelshow.com thinks you should spend your hard-earned $50 on a Wii U game of higher quality like Super Smash Bros. Or Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and skip Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. And that will bring us to the end of this review, and if you like what you saw, please give this video a thumbs up and add your favorites and all that good stuff, and you can stay tuned for more videos in the future. But I will talk to you in the next video, guys. Bye!